Hi beautifuls, it's Ethany and today is day 16 of 31 days of tarot for 2018 and I feel like today's going to be a pretty quick one for me, although I could get on a tarot rant, and it's do you read reversals, why or why not? No, I do not read reversals, and I totally and utterly fucking respect anyone's choice on this. However you choose to read the tarot is completely fine by me. That's why I say take what resonates with you and leave the rest on my videos. I respect the shit out of a lot of people who write books about reversals, who teach reversals, who read reversals. We are all beautiful colors of the goddamn tarot rainbow, alright? So we don't need to throw around any authoritarian kind of shit. I just personally don't. And the reason I personally don't has a little bit to do with how I learnt the tarot formally when I had my tarot teacher, and I did learn on my own, and I believe the Spiral Tarot book has reversals, and I highlighted the shit out of that, and I believe a couple of the tarot books I read to begin with did have reversals, but I didn't really start really being serious about tarot as a professional practice where I wanted to know enough about the cards that I could write a book or talk about the cards without having to look at anything until I had my formal training. And that was just me. I love learning. So I learnt the tarot from an amazing woman named Gail. I talk about her in a video called My First Tarot Teacher. She's the shit. I love her dearly. And I see the tarot like her. So I also agree that and understand that depending on who you are taught by or mentored by or drawn to in that respect can shape your opinion, and it can change. Like Kellyanne Maddox did an amazing video last year or the year before about how her position on reversals has changed. And again, that's fine. Our spiritual practices, our ways of doing things, our craft is going to change like we change. This has not changed for me yet. It may do later. And I'm okay with that. I'm open to that. So I don't read reversals because I believe that the system of the tarot that I know, understand, read and teach, being the Rider-Waite-Smith system, and the ever-loving expansion of that, understanding of that, personal experiences of that, shared community experiences on that, because I believe that's like the bones, and I call it the bones in my reading, like the foundation of my understanding of the tarot is Rider-Waite-Smith. I believe that was designed specifically to represent a whole story. So we have the light and the shade of cards in every card, and we don't need reversals in order to see them. We get the light and the shade from the position the card is in if we use spreads, or the question that's being asked, and that's why I design my own spreads for my clients, and I do custom ones. The cards that surround it, the way they interact with each other, the combinations, and every card has more than one aspect or facet or dynamic depending on the situation, which is why I wrote the Bad Bitches Tarot guidebook the way I did. Every card does mean something about career, money, love, our general meaning, and I did put reversals in there for people who read reversals, but I see them also as being blocked, or the blocked energy of that. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So the Queen of Swords is a really good one because she's often seen quite as a bit of a bitch, and this is the Mage Tarot that I showed for day 6, I believe. Now the Queen of Swords, in her positive aspect for me in my tarot archetypes, she's the judge, and she is fair, she's honest, she sees through bullshit, she's intelligent, and she's to the point. But if we see her in her shadow aspect, she's cruel, manipulative, will cut you down, and knows exactly where people's weak points. So we have a Barbara Walters, maybe, I don't really know her very well, positive aspect, maybe Judge Judy aspect, take no shit, versus a Cersei Lannister. So we have those aspects, both of those aspects of that person inside it, and people, especially the core cards, people are not just one thing. We are a multifaceted thing. We have light and shadow inside of us. And that's why I don't feel like we need to read reversals. Another one, the Lovers. So the Lovers choice, so the positive aspect of this card is love, relationships, having someone else's feelings in consideration and considering someone else, considering community, expanding our awareness, reflection, like learning through the great teacher, which is relationships. The negative of this is maybe diving too deep into relationships, codependency, not being able to pull yourself away from that, maybe seeing things through rose-colored glasses a little bit too much, maybe having too many lovers and being a little bit dangerous about it. So I see that as see the light and shadow, and I didn't need to reverse that. It's all about the reading in which I am doing and the what is the word I'm looking for? The context in which it is being read for. The Hierophant, another one, tradition, things like religion, which can be depending on the person. You know, they could have had an amazing experience with their churches and their religious upbringing. Other people have horrific, like damaging, traumatic experiences with the church. Same thing with schools and the government. And that's what this card does. Also, that means there is light and shadow in all of those institutions. Then we look at tradition and learn. So this also means traditions, things like marriage. Good and bad is happening in marriage. Traditions that we pass on to our children. Do we want to break the cycle of maybe an alcoholic household? So there are light and shadow. And then you can put the light thing there and say traditions that you have around festive times or birthdays or Christmas and things like that. So for me, and I know I'm being quite emphatic about it, and I thought this was going to be super quick, but for me, the cards, because they are representations of whole things, of large archetypes, of people, if we're looking at people and personalities, if we're looking at the court cards, I don't read reversals. And I probably could have done this as a video response and written a blog post about it, because it's something that I get asked a lot. But hopefully I've kind of given you some ideas as to why. I'm not here to change any minds. I'm not here to convert anyone. You have to do what works for you and do what's comfortable for you. And the only thing that I say in anything to do with learning the tarot or being a part of a tarot community is I'm a bit suspect of anyone who says my way is one way, the right way, the only way. You got to do what's right for you. I hope that all of that ramble made sense and you enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow, and I can't wait to watch everyone's videos. I am very sorry if I haven't been keeping up to date with all of the responses. I'm soup dupes busy right now, but I will go back, and I have been trying to reply to comments and things like that. I do see you, lovely tarot community. I really, really do. And I'll see you tomorrow.